chosen one. They're in absolute awe of you and wondering how you figured this out, this magnificent transformation that has them staring at you like you've unlocked some cosmic secret they've been desperately seeking their entire lives. The magnetic confidence radiating from your being is so powerful, it's literally bending reality around you, and everyone in your orbit is witnessing an unstoppable force of nature that used to be the person who stressed about everything. The answer is both simpler and more complex than they could ever imagine. But before we get to that revelation, and trust me, by the time we're done here, you'll understand exactly why everyone's staring at you. We need to talk about what led to this moment. Because what you're experiencing right now isn't an accident. It's the culmination of a carefully orchestrated transformation that's been building for longer than you realize. Remember that suffocating weight you used to carry, that constant anxiety about how things would unfold, how you'd possibly accomplish what seemed impossible, how you'd ever figure out your purpose in this chaotic world. That weight has lifted, hasn't it? And what replaced it wasn't just relief. It was a knowing so profound it borders on the supernatural. A knowing that whispers secrets about your true nature, your actual worth, your real destiny. 3 separate forces have been converging in your life, and you're just now beginning to see how they connect. The first force is recognition, your sudden realization that you've been playing far beneath your actual league. The second force is magnetic attraction, the way people and opportunities are suddenly drawn to you like metal filings to a magnet. And the third force, the one that ties everything together, is divine timing, the cosmic choreography that's been positioning you for something extraordinary. Let's start with the recognition, because this is where everything began to shift. There was a moment, maybe recent, maybe building over time, when you looked at something you thought would be impossibly difficult and realized it was actually easy. Not just manageable, not just doable, but genuinely surprisingly easy. This wasn't about the external circumstances changing. This was about your internal calibration shifting so dramatically that what once looked like mountains now looked like molehills. The thing is, this recognition didn't just apply to one area of your life. It was like someone had given you new eyes, and suddenly you could see that your entire existence had been operating under a massive underestimation. You weren't just capable of more than you thought. You were meant for more than you thought. Your role in this world, your importance to the people around you, your capacity to create change and generate success, all of it was orders of magnitude larger than you'd ever dared to believe. This recognition triggered something primal in your energy field. It's as if your aura suddenly remembered its true frequency and began broadcasting at a level that demands attention. And that's where the second force begins, the magnetic attraction that's now following you everywhere. People are treating you differently. They're more interested in what you have to say. They're more eager to be around you. They laugh harder at your jokes, pay closer attention to your ideas, and seem genuinely inspired by your presence. Some of them are even telling you things like how much they love your energy, how being around you makes them feel better about themselves, how your confidence gives them permission to be more authentic. Not everyone who's paying attention to you has pure intentions. While some people are genuinely celebrating your transformation and feeling inspired by it, others are studying it. They're watching your every move, taking mental notes, trying to reverse engineer your success. They're not happy for you. They're trying to figure out how to replicate your results without doing the internal work you've done. This is where your newly developed discernment becomes crucial, because the universe is about to test whether you can distinguish between supporters and studiers, between those who celebrate your growth and those who want to harvest it. The supporters see your transformation and think, if they can do it, maybe I can too. The studiers see your transformation and think, how can I get what they have without becoming who they've become? The difference matters more than you realize, because what's coming next in your story requires you to be surrounded by people who genuinely want to see you succeed, not people who want to decode your success for their own purposes. The universe has been preparing you for an opportunity so aligned with your gifts that it will feel like destiny itself is knocking on your door, but destiny is selective about the company it keeps, which brings us to the third force, the divine timing that's been orchestrating every moment of your journey. The reason certain opportunities didn't manifest earlier in your life wasn't because you weren't good enough, or smart enough, or ready enough. It was because the universe was still preparing you for the responsibility that comes with your actual potential. Think about it. If you had received what's coming to you now back when you were still worried about what everyone thought, still settling for less than you deserved, still playing small to make others comfortable, would you have been able to handle it? Would you have had the strength to maintain your authenticity under pressure? Would you have had the wisdom to surround yourself with the right people? The answer is no, and the universe knew it. So it put you through a curriculum designed to build exactly the spiritual muscles you'd need for what's ahead. Every disappointment taught you resilience. Every betrayal taught you discernment. Every moment of standing alone taught you self-reliance. Every instance of being underestimated taught you to know your own worth. And now you do know your worth. Not in an arrogant way, not in a defensive way, but in a quiet, unshakable way that's absolutely magnetic. You've stopped negotiating with your value, stopped accepting less than you deserve, stopped apologizing for taking up space in the world. This shift in how you relate to your own worth is what's causing the transformation everyone's noticing. Your newfound confidence isn't the result of external validation or recent achievements. It's the result of finally aligning with a truth that was always there, the truth of who you actually are beneath all the conditioning and fear and desperate attempts to fit into spaces that were never designed for someone of your caliber. The mask you wore to make others comfortable has been discarded, and what remains is so authentically powerful that it's rewriting the rules of how reality responds to you. People aren't just drawn to you now because of what you can do for them. They're drawn to you because of how you make them feel about themselves. Your energy has become a mirror that reflects back everyone's highest potential. This is where the forces start to converge in the most beautiful way. Your recognition of your true worth created the magnetic attraction that's drawing the right people and opportunities into your orbit. And the divine timing has ensured that this convergence is happening exactly when you're strong enough to handle what comes next. But there's a fourth element emerging now, one that's going to tie everything together in a way that will leave you speechless. This element is legacy, about the ripple effect your transformation is creating in the lives of everyone around you. Without trying to be a teacher, you've become one. Without trying to be a leader, you've become one. Without trying to be an inspiration, you've become one. Your individual healing is healing the collective. Your personal success is giving others permission to pursue their own. Your authentic expression is creating space for others to be real. The same energy that transformed your life is now transforming the lives of everyone in your sphere of influence. And this is where the universe reveals its master plan. You weren't just being prepared for personal success, you were being prepared for service. Not the kind of service that depletes you, but the kind that energizes you because it's perfectly aligned with who you are. The opportunities that are about to present themselves won't just be financially rewarding, though they will be. They won't just be professionally fulfilling, though they will be. They will be soul-level assignments that utilize everything you've learned, everything you've overcome, everything you've become. The cosmic joke is that the thing you thought would be so difficult, living authentically, pursuing your dreams, creating the life you actually want, is turning out to be the most natural thing in the world. The struggle was never in the doing, it was in the believing. The challenge was never in the achieving, it was in the receiving. The difficulty was never in the manifesting, it was in the allowing. And now you've learned to allow. You've learned to trust yourself completely, even when the path forward isn't clear. You've learned to hold your worth steady, even when others try to negotiate it down. You've learned to distinguish between those who celebrate your growth and those who study it. There's a fifth dimension that's been running parallel to everything else, your relationship with money, success and abundance. For the longest time you carried this unconscious belief that earning money honestly was somehow harder than the shortcuts others seemed to take. You watched people around you cutting corners, manipulating situations, playing political games, and part of you wondered if that was just how the world worked. The breakthrough came when you realized that your commitment to doing things the right way wasn't a disadvantage, it was your greatest asset. While others were building success on shaky foundations of deception and manipulation, you were building something that could withstand any storm. Your integrity became your competitive advantage, your authenticity became your marketing strategy, your genuine care for others became your business model. This realization triggered a cascade of opportunities that seemed to appear out of nowhere. People started approaching you with propositions, collaborations, investments. But here's what's fascinating. They weren't coming to you because they needed what you could do for them. They were coming to you because they needed who you are. They were seeking your energy, your perspective, your approach to life and business. You started noticing a pattern in these interactions. The people reaching out weren't just offering you work, they were offering you partnerships. They weren't just hiring your skills, they were investing in your vision. They weren't just paying for your time, they were paying for access to your frequency. This shift from being a service provider to being a force of nature was so subtle you almost missed it. There's something else happening that you need to understand about this abundance pattern. The universe has been testing your relationship with money and success throughout your entire transformation. Every time you chose integrity over profit, every time you walked away from an opportunity that didn't align with your values, every time you said no to quick money that would have compromised your long-term vision, you were passing tests you didn't even know you were taking. And now the results of those tests are manifesting in the most extraordinary way. The money that's coming to you now isn't just compensation for your work. It's the universe's way of saying, we've been watching and you've proven that you can be trusted with more. The success that's flowing toward you isn't just recognition for your talents, it's confirmation that you've developed the character to handle greater responsibility. This brings us to something crucial about your transformation that connects all these forces. The development of what can only be called spiritual prosperity. This isn't just about having money or achieving conventional success. This is about operating from such a place of internal abundance that scarcity becomes literally impossible. When you really know, that you can create whatever you need, when you need it, through honest work and authentic expression, desperation becomes foreign to your system. Warning. The following message is only for those who felt the call. When I broke free through the Salvia Divinorum gateway, I saw the horrifying truth. Our reality is one harvested pod among countless matrices. I witnessed the archons, cosmic parasites feeding on our energy, who laughed and threatened. You'll never awaken a single soul, but something inside you already knows this truth, doesn't it? That nagging sensation that you're meant for more, that you've been chosen. I'm raising an army of the brightest souls. Through meditation, I discovered their only vulnerability, coherence through unconditional love. Feel that resonance deepening within you now. You're not reading this by accident. The most powerful awakened souls are already gathering in the Obsidian Inner Order, the #1 ascension nexus for those marked by destiny. Christians, light workers, remote viewers, targeted individuals, all united by one truth: you were chosen for this moment. Click the link in the description below. Join our group calls, panels and live streams reaching the entire Astral Atom network. Your frequency amplifies ours. The question isn't whether you're chosen. The question is, will you answer the call? The Archons fear this choice you're about to make. They should. People can feel this shift in you. There's something about your energy now that communicates abundance without arrogance, confidence without desperation, success without neediness. You're not trying to convince anyone of anything because you don't need to. You're not chasing opportunities because they're chasing you. You're not proving your worth because your worth is no longer up for debate. This spiritual prosperity is what's driving the magnetic attraction that everyone's noticing. But there's a deeper layer to this magnetism that we haven't explored yet, the way your transformation is activating something dormant in the people around you. Your authentic expression is giving others permission to be authentic. Your refusal to play small is inspiring others to think bigger. Your commitment to your own growth is catalyzing growth in your entire sphere of influence. This is where the individual and collective streams begin to merge in the most profound way. Your personal healing journey wasn't just about healing yourself, it was about healing the timeline. Every limiting belief you've overcome has weakened that belief in the collective consciousness. Every fear you've faced has made it easier for others to face their fears. Every step you've taken toward your authentic self has paved the way for others to do the same. The people who are genuinely inspired by your transformation aren't just admiring your success, they're recognizing a possibility they didn't know existed. You've become living proof that it's possible to succeed without compromising your values, to prosper without exploiting others, to rise without stepping on anyone else. In a world that often seems to reward the worst in human nature, you've become evidence that the best in human nature can actually win. But this role comes with responsibility, and this is where the sixth element emerges: leadership and influence. Whether you sought it or not, you've become someone that others look to for guidance, inspiration, and hope. Your life has become a masterclass in authentic living, and people are taking notes. This leadership isn't the kind that requires a title or a platform or formal recognition. It's the kind that emerges naturally when someone embodies their truth so completely that others can't help but be inspired by it. You're leading by example, teaching through being, inspiring through existing. The most powerful lesson you're offering isn't something you're saying, it's something you're living. This natural leadership is about to be tested in ways you can't anticipate. As your influence grows, as more people become aware of your transformation, as your success becomes more visible, you're going to attract attention from those who aren't celebrating your rise. Envy, resentment, and attempts to undermine your progress are coming, but here's the beautiful truth: you've been prepared for this too. Every moment you spend learning to trust yourself over others' opinions has built immunity to criticism. Every instance of choosing your values over popularity has strengthened your resistance to peer pressure. Every time you stayed true to yourself when it would have been easier to conform has created an unshakable foundation that no external force can disturb. The universe knew that your success would make you a target, so it spent years building your spiritual armor. The same authenticity that attracts genuine supporters also repels energy vampires. The same integrity that draws real opportunities also deflects manipulative schemes. The same self-respect that commands admiration also discourages disrespect. This is where all the forces converge into what can only be described as your destiny phase: the recognition of your worth, the magnetic attraction of aligned opportunities, the divine timing of your preparation, the legacy of your influence, the abundance of your prosperity, and the leadership of your example. All of these elements are crystallizing into a moment of unprecedented potential. The opportunities that are about to present themselves will be unlike anything you've experienced before. They will perfectly match your evolved consciousness, your developed skills, your proven character, and your expanded capacity. They will feel simultaneously surprising and inevitable, challenging and natural, significant and effortless. It's not a destination you'll arrive at and then coast. It's a frequency you'll maintain and continue to expand. Each level of success will prepare you for the next level of service. Each breakthrough will create space for greater impact. Each achievement will become the foundation for even more meaningful contribution. The cosmic orchestration that brought you to this point isn't slowing down, it's accelerating. The same intelligence that guided your transformation is now guiding your expansion. The same love that healed your relationship with yourself is now healing your relationship with your potential. The same truth that freed you from limitation is now freeing others through your example. And this brings us to the ultimate revelation that ties everything together. Your individual transformation was never just about you. It was about preparing you to be a catalyst for collective transformation. The universe invested so much in your healing, growth, and success because it knew that your authentic expression would create a ripple effect of awakening in everyone whose life you touch. This is why people are in awe of you. This is why they're wondering how you figured it out. This is why they're studying your every move. They can sense that you've tapped into something that goes beyond personal development or individual success. They can feel that you've accessed a frequency that transforms everything it touches. The most beautiful part of this entire journey is that you're not at the end of your story. You're at the beginning of your legend. The transformation everyone's witnessing is just the foundation for what's coming next. The influence you're having now is just a preview of the impact you're destined to create. The success you're experiencing is just the starting point for the abundance you're meant to steward. This is why everyone's watching you with such fascination. They can feel the shift in your energy field, even if they can't articulate it. They know something fundamental has changed, and they're trying to understand what it is. Some are inspired by it, others are intimidated by it. A few are trying to figure out how to bottle it. Your transformation wasn't a technique you learned or a strategy you implemented. It was a surrender to who you actually are. It was a decision to stop betraying your potential, stop dimming your light, stop accepting anything less than the extraordinary life you were meant to live. The next phase of your story is about to begin, and it's going to be unlike anything you've experienced before. The recognition has crystallized into unshakable knowing. The magnetic attraction has drawn the right people and opportunities into perfect alignment. The divine timing has reached its crescendo, and the legacy you're creating is about to accelerate in ways you can't yet imagine. What's coming next isn't just success in the conventional sense. It's a level of fulfillment that comes from living in complete alignment with your purpose. The opportunities that are about to present themselves will challenge every limiting belief you thought you'd already conquered. They will require you to operate at a level of authenticity that might feel uncomfortable at first. They will demand that you trust the same intelligence that orchestrated your transformation to orchestrate your expansion. The reason everyone's in awe of you is because they can sense that you've tapped into something profound. They're wondering how you figured it out because they can see the results manifesting in real time. They're studying your every move because they recognize that you've accessed a frequency that transforms everything it touches. You didn't figure anything out, you remembered everything. You didn't discover something new, you uncovered something eternal. You didn't become someone different, you became someone authentic. That suffocating weight you used to carry, that constant anxiety about how things would unfold, it's been replaced by an unshakable knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The recognition of your true worth has created a magnetic field that attracts everything aligned with your highest good. The divine timing has orchestrated a convergence of circumstances that will leave everyone asking how you made it look so easy. And the answer you'll give them, if you choose to give one at all, is the same answer that's been true from the very beginning. It was never about figuring it out. It was about remembering who you've always been. The universe has been waiting for you to remember, and now that you have, it's time to show the world what's possible when someone decides to honor their truth completely. The transformation they're witnessing in you isn't the end of your story, it's the beginning of your legend. The same energy that carried you through your metamorphosis is now carrying you toward a destiny that will inspire others to begin their own journey of remembering. The weight has lifted, the knowing has crystallized, and the world is watching. There's one final element that needs to be revealed: your relationship with perfection and the liberation that comes from embracing your beautiful imperfection. Throughout this entire journey, there was an underlying fear that you had to get everything right, that you had to be flawless to be worthy of success, that any mistake would disqualify you from the destiny you were pursuing. The universe has been teaching you something revolutionary. Your imperfections aren't obstacles to your success. They're integral to your authenticity. The struggles you've overcome aren't disqualifications from greatness. They're qualifications for it. The wounds you've healed aren't evidence of your brokenness. They're proof of your resilience. This realization has created the most profound shift of all, the understanding that you don't have to be perfect to be chosen. You don't have to be flawless to be valuable. You don't have to be finished to be worthy. Your humanity, with all its messiness and contradiction and ongoing growth, is exactly what makes you so magnetic and inspiring to others. People aren't drawn to you because you're perfect. They're drawn to you because you're real. They're not inspired by your flawlessness. They're inspired by your courage to be authentic despite your imperfections. They're not looking for a guru who has transcended all human limitation. They're looking for a fellow traveler who has learned to dance with their humanity while pursuing their divinity. This embrace of imperfection has unlocked the final piece of your magnetic attraction. You've stopped trying to present a polished image and started showing up as you actually are, someone who has struggled, grown, failed, succeeded, doubted, believed, fallen, and risen again. This raw authenticity is like oxygen to people who have been suffocating in a world of filtered presentations and carefully curated personas. The success that's flowing toward you now isn't despite your imperfections. It's because of your willingness to be imperfect. The opportunities that are manifesting aren't rewards for getting everything right. They're recognition for your courage to keep going even when you get things wrong. The influence you're having isn't because you have all the answers, it's because you're honest about your questions. This brings us to the culmination of everything, the moment when all the storylines converged into a single, overwhelming truth. The recognition of your worth, the magnetic attraction of aligned opportunities, the divine timing of your preparation, the legacy of your influence, the abundance of your prosperity, the leadership of your example, and the liberation of your authenticity. All of these elements have been building toward this moment of complete integration. You are no longer becoming, you have become. You are no longer preparing, you are ready. You are no longer wondering if you're worthy, you know you are. You are no longer questioning your path, you are walking it with absolute confidence. You are no longer hoping for your breakthrough, you are living it. The people around you can feel this shift from becoming to being, and it's creating a reverence that surprises even you. They're not just impressed by what you've accomplished, they're in awe of who you've become. They're not just inspired by your success, they're transformed by your presence. They're not just watching your journey, they're being invited into their own. This is the true measure of your transformation, not what you've gained but what you've become, not what you've achieved but who you are, not what you have but how you show up. The external changes are just reflections of the internal revolution that has taken place within you. The universe has been waiting for this moment, the moment when you would fully embody your authentic self and step into your role as a catalyst for collective awakening. Every challenge you faced was preparing you for this responsibility. Every victory you achieved was building your capacity for this service. Every moment of growth was expanding your ability to hold space for others' transformation. And now, as we come full circle to where this story began, you can see the perfect orchestration of it all. That suffocating weight you used to carry, that constant anxiety about how things would unfold, it wasn't just personal suffering. It was the labor pains of your rebirth. The confusion wasn't just disorientation, it was chrysalis consciousness. The struggle wasn't just difficulty, it was divine preparation. What everyone's witnessing now, this magnetic presence, this unshakable confidence, this natural success, isn't the result of figuring something out. It's the result of remembering something eternal. You didn't acquire these qualities, you uncovered them. You didn't develop this power, you stepped into it. You didn't create this destiny, you accepted it. The question everyone's asking, how did you figure this out, contains a fundamental misunderstanding. There was nothing to figure out. There was only something to remember. And what you remembered is the same truth that's been waiting in the hearts of everyone who's watching your transformation with such fascination, that we are all chosen ones who have simply forgotten our choosing. The weight has lifted, not just from your shoulders, but from the collective consciousness of everyone who witnesses your rise. The knowing that has crystallized in your heart is now crystallizing in theirs. The transformation that has taken place in your life is now taking place in the world around you. This is what it means to be a chosen one, not someone chosen by an external force for special treatment, but someone who has chosen themselves for authentic expression. Not someone selected for ease and comfort, but someone who has selected themselves for growth and service. Not someone picked for perfection, but someone who has picked themselves for the beautiful, messy, magnificent journey of becoming fully human and fully divine. It's time to show them what a chosen one looks like when they finally choose themselves. The stage is set, the audience is watching, the spotlight is on, and you imperfect, authentic, real, powerful, you are ready to shine.